I'm guilty of consuming so much photography through social media, especially Instagram and YouTube, and I mainly do street photography, and so that meant constantly watching videos and following accounts and, looking for inspiration and ways to improve. I would spend countless hours watching YouTube videos or scrolling through people's work, and I would not remember a single photo or anything that stuck out to me, and
It's a problem.
it was just really uninspiring and it wasn't productive. Over the last decade, these platforms have become flooded with bad photographers, fleeting trends, gear obsessions, and basically anything about photography except actual photography. And this made me really frustrated because I wanted to be able to consume good photography and be able to find inspiration and find ways to, level up my work. And I just felt like I wasn't getting that out of social media. Too many of us are unknowingly absorbing poor technique from bad photographers, or we're fixated on the little things that don't really contribute to our photography, like obsessing over gear or like what presets creators are using. And overall, it's just a really poor approach when it comes to photography. Think about it. Like if you want to build a business, for example, like you wouldn't be taking advice from someone who's had 3 failed startups. And the same thing applies with photography. Like you want to learn from the people who you really want to emulate. Not necessarily replicate, but learn from their techniques and learn from their experience. Now, I'm kind of ashamed to admit this, but I've only started really collecting photo books until recently. I've had a couple over the past few years, but they've always just been super expensive to get into, and I never really knew where to start. Thankfully, my birthday passed, and I was so fortunate to be able to be given a lot of photo books recently, and a lot of these photo books are street photography focused, and some are like curated works, and some are more educational. And let me tell you, photo books are so much better than scrolling on social media, and there are a couple of reasons why. So the first obvious reason would be that they are bigger, bolder, and more immersive. This is how photographs are meant to be seen, not crushed into a few inches of compressed pixels. This way you get to see the image on a much larger scale, allowing you to see the whole composition, detail, and it really gets you immersed in the photo. It slows you down, and it's a good thing. The second reason is that they're curated with purpose. You're not just looking at someone's best photos, you're looking at how they intentionally presented their work. And a lot of this has to do with sequencing. And sequencing is basically how you order photos within a series of photos or a collection. And so through these sequencing, you can see the photographer's attempt to try and create a whole story out of these collection of photos, or to create some kind of rhythm within it. And so there's just a lot of little factors that you don't get to fully appreciate when it comes to social media. And sure, we have carousels, but the way that Instagram is designed, or any other social media platform, is for you to swipe through those photos very quickly, and it doesn't really give the viewers time to absorb all of that information. There's sequencing, storytelling, a rhythm. A photo might be next to another photo for a very specific reason. Diptychs, where 2 images are paired side by side, are common in photo books, and they invite you to find connections between the 2 images, either through color, form, or by theme. Even the physical book design matters. The graphic design, layout, binding, it's all part of the experience. Bookmaking is an art form too, and it deserves more appreciation. Take this pairing from Alex Webb's The Suffering of Light. Both photos are built around bold shadows and strong color, yellow on one side, green on the other. The shadows flow into each other across the spine of the book. The compositions are angular, and the rhythm between them is so deliberate. It's a powerful example of thoughtful sequencing. Or consider this. One photo documents a burning barricade from an anti-election protest. The next shows a memorial of victims of military violence. They're not visually similar, but thematically they're deeply connected. That kind of pairing teaches you to look deeper beyond visual elements. And the third reason is that photo books forces you to slow down. Social media is addictive and fast by design. With a photo book, you can't just swipe on a photo that easily. You just kind of have to sit with it. You're supposed to flip through the pages, and that slowness is invaluable. It allows you to slow down and study that photo and, reflect on it. It allows you to question it, to criticize it, to really analyze it in a way that's immersive and slower that social media can't really give you, because all really social media is designed to do is to give you that instant gratification of the abundant amount of content on there, and that's not what Photobooks do. Photobooks doesn't ask more of you. It doesn't shove ads in your face. It invites you to slow down and to look at the photos how they were intentionally presented. Now, the fourth reason is that it is physical and not digital. And now this is a very obvious reason, but there is actually a benefit to this. Now, as humans, we are naturally more inclined to things that we can actually touch, anything that can really enable our senses. And so with a photo book, we are able to take our time. It's the same reason why we enjoy looking through our old family albums with physical photographs instead of looking through a gallery on our iPhone or something like that. Photo books are tangible. You're able to touch it. You're able to look at it for as long as you want. Yeah, it invites curiosity. It feels more real. And from a purely visual standpoint, there's no backlight, no screen glare, no eye strain. It's a gentler, more natural way to experience an image. Now, the fifth reason is that they give you insight into a photographer's process. There are a lot of books out there from master photographers that allow you to look into their process and work that is carefully curated and have been explained through decades of experience. And now online, we see this all the time. People are always asking creators or photographers about their process, about what gear they used, about what presets they used, demanding a tutorial on how they achieve their process. And in a way, I feel like that's also disrespectful, but that is a whole other topic on its own. With Photobooks, especially from master photographers, you get access to their body of work, their choices, and their approach. And this kind of information is invaluable compared to most things online. There is a gold mine of learning in these books if you pay attention. Once I started diving into these books more, I realized how much I had to learn. And for the last reason is that they teach you through reflection. The photographs in these books are phenomenal. I think they are brilliant, and it really invites you to think about new perspectives and angles in how you can apply that in your own work. They inspire you to go shoot, but they also invite you to slow down and study. Ask yourself, is this a good photograph? Why? What's working here? What would I do differently? What can I learn from this? Why don't I like this one? What does that tell me about my taste? These questions sharpen your eye, and that translates directly into your own work, especially in street photography where decisions are happening in an instant. That visual literacy matters. So where do you even start? There are a ton of photo books out there. I personally started with a lot of classic street photographers and books because I mean what better way than to start with photographers who are masters in their craft. And a lot of photographers that you can look into, like Alex Webb, Solitaire, Vivian Meyer. Look at them online and see what really resonates with you. You can also explore local libraries, secondhand shops. You don't always need to spend a ton to start learning. The truth is, the more you consume great photography, the more likely it is that you will be able to create great photographs. What you feed your eyes and mind matters. When you intentionally start to surround yourself with thoughtful, intentional work, it slowly reshapes your instincts and your sense of timing, framing, and storytelling. You begin to raise your standards, and little by little, your images start to get a little bit better. Not because you copy someone else, but because you learn to see a little bit differently. By having access to all of these different perspectives and people's work, it really allows you to understand what can be achieved in photography, what different techniques are there, and what you can take from each of these little perspectives and using that to be able to have your own creative direction. So grab a photo book, sit with it, flip through it, and let it challenge you, let it inspire you. Photography is meant to be understood and not scrolled away in a second. Photography requires a lot of decisions that often people can't really see, and so it is also the only medium that captures unrepeatable moments in time, and that deserves to be appreciated. So yeah, let me know what your favorite photo books are. Comment it down below because I'd love to see them, and I'm sure other people would love to see it as well. Yeah, that's all for now. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.